Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for another mini fragrance haul video. Today I have 5 new fragrances for my collection that I'm going to unbox and try for the first time. 3 of them come from the House of Paris corner and 2 of them come from Fragrance World. Or to be more specific, one of them is from Fragrance World and one of them is from French Avenue, FA Paris. So let's unbox all 5 of them and let's try them for the first time. I'll start with the Paris Corner scents that I'm going to try out in this video for the first time. The 3 fragrances from Paris Corner that I have today are When Soul Gets High, Autobiography Series Supreme Gold and Veteran Oud. And I'm going to start with Veteran Oud, which is supposed to be pretty similar to Armani's Stronger With You Oud. So let's try this one first. This is how the box of Veteran Oud looks. It has sort of this color combination of black and golden. And this is how the actual bottle looks. As you can see, or if you're familiar with the original fragrance, pretty much this is a completely different bottle design, which is a good thing. I hate it when, you know, clone companies, actually Middle Eastern fragrance houses, actually copy the bottle designs and the names of the fragrances. Sprayer seems to be pretty nice. And now onto the scent of a Veteran Oud from Paris Corner and Pandora Scents. Yep, this is a fragrance that's pretty similar to Stronger With You Oud. It's very similar to the whole Stronger With You line, but you know, definitely this one is you know, something that's been inspired by Stronger With You Oud. You get a ton of the vanilla right from the opening of this fragrance, like you get with the original. You get a hint of the agar oud note, which is present in the original, ambery sweetness, maybe a hint of lavendery freshness, but it's all about the sweetness with this one and the agar oud somewhere in the background. The original fragrance carries again that very strong Stronger With You DNA, that sweet vanillic ambery you know, DNA of the whole line, and also has a very subtle, very designer level agar oud note. And Veteran Oud actually does a very good job at sort of coming close to the original fragrance when it comes to the scent itself. It's sweet, there's a lot of vanillic and ambery sweetness, there's a hint of slightly animalic agar oud note in the background, but it's very easy actually for the nose. It's not too skanky, not too overpowering, and really nicely balanced. Next one that I'm going to try out is called When Soul Gets High, and this is supposedly inspired by Kilian's Back to Black. So let's see if that's true. It comes packed in this, you know, very nicely looking sort of a tin can type of a box. And then this is how the bottle looks. It's a really nicely looking bottle in my opinion. Apart from this thingy that's hanging on the side, other than that, this really looks nice actually. Okay, so let's check out the sprayer and let's see how this one smells. Again, another pretty decent sprayer actually. And onto the scent of When Soul Gets High. What a quirky name. Okay. Yep, definitely carries quite a lot of similarities to Back to Black from Kilian. It's a very sweet fragrance actually, quite gourmand in the opening. I pick up some sort of sweet tobacco. There's definitely some honey, there's a cherry note in here. Quite a strong chocolatey vibe I get out of this one as well. It's pretty dark, pretty sweet, actually a very sweet vanilla sweetness. Maybe a hint of something spicy as well. Very gourmand scent that actually feels perfectly unisex and in fact maybe leaning a little bit to the feminine side as well. What I'm going to try out of Paris Corner today comes from the Autobiography series and it's called Supreme Gold. This one is supposedly similar to Parfum de Marly's Hero. So let's see if that's true. Package wise, it's pretty similar to the other fragrances from the autobiography series that I have in my collection. And the bottle design, I think it's again pretty similar, although here you have this sort of a dark brownish accents on it. So let's check out the sprayer. I really like the bottle design of this autobiography series, to be honest, and the only thing that I don't like about them is the fact that they only come in 65 milliliter bottle sizes. Sprayer again pretty decent, although I prefer the sprayers of the first two scents that I checked out today. Okay, yep, definitely a fragrance that's been inspired by Parfum de Marly's Herod. A nice, sweet, tobacco-based fragrance with quite a lot of added sweetness. Definitely pick up a vanilla note in here. Definitely some cinnamon as well. Some woodsy note somewhere in the background. A hint of incense as well. But yeah, the main notes here are the sweet tobacco note and the vanilla note that adds even more sweetness to the fragrance. And now let's move on to the Fragrance World scents. The first one is sold under the Fragrance World brand, and it's called Feroce Ohm. And this one is supposedly similar to Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. So let's check out if that's true. It's a 100 milliliter bottle size. And the bottle itself has a very quirky design. Really looks strange, to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of the bottle design of this one. The cap is all plastic, although it feels quite heavy. Let's check out the sprayer of Feroce Ohm. Decent sprayer. Okay, yes, definitely something that's heavily inspired by the Dolce & Gabbana fragrance. Opens up really fresh, really citrusy, with a nice amount of slightly sweet grapefruit note and quite a strong lemon note in the opening. Feels really fresh, really refreshing, and also a bit musky in the opening. Maybe there's a hint of something spicy, something peppery, and some sort of sweetness creeps up in the background, but it's a very fresh, very refreshing, very light opening, very citrusy opening, with a hint of ambery sweetness and a bit of fruity sweetness as well. And time to check out the last fragrance featured in today's video, which is called Mirage, and it comes from FA Paris, which again is Fragrance World, and this one is supposedly inspired by Parfum de Marly's Layton exclusive. So let's see if that's true. Let's unbox it first. The box is really nice, really big. Let's see how you open up. Okay, so in order to get to the bottle, you need to open it up like that to the sides, and the fragrance sits inside. Seems to be a really interesting and luxuriously packaged fragrance. And then this is how the bottle looks. Again, very interesting bottle design that has absolutely nothing in common to the fragrance that it's supposedly, copying. Let's check out the sprayer. Good sprayer. And let's check out the scent. Yep. A definite inspiration of Parfum de Marly's Layton exclusive. Carries a lot of that Layton DNA, the OG Layton and Layton exclusive. But this feels a little bit darker than the OG Layton and feels closer to the Layton exclusive side. Although the opening here feels a little bit brighter compared to the OG Layton exclusive. Also feels a little bit spicier, but definitely carries a very strong vibe to Layton/Layton exclusive. You get the sweet apple note, the vanilla note, you get the cardamom, and the geranium, with a bit of added darkness and also some greenness in the opening. But definitely, definitely something that's been very heavily inspired by Layton/Layton exclusive. And again, feels a little bit greener, a little bit more spicy, slightly less dark in the opening than the OG Layton exclusive. But seems to be really nice. I want to try this one on skin. And I couldn't resist, but I also tried on skin the autobiography series, and actually the sprayer here is really nice. And now let's talk about the dry downs of all 5 fragrances that I'm trying out for the first time today, and I'm going to do them in the same order, and I'm going to start with Veteran Oud, which is inspired by Armani's Stronger With You Oud. and a definite inspiration of Stronger with You Oud. The opening was pretty close, the dry down again is pretty similar to the original fragrance. You still get that ambery vanillic sweetness with some added agar oud in the background, some lavender. On the dry down in here there's a leather note that started to creep up in, just like I get with the original fragrance, and all around this seems to be very nicely done, alternative, very nicely done inspiration of Stronger with You Oud. Definitely has good quality. The next dry down that I'm going to talk about will be a Mir's When Soul Gets High. This one, of course, being an alternative to Kilian's Back to Black. Seems to be pretty similar to the original fragrance, not exact, but pretty similar. The dry down here became even more gourmand, even sweeter, it's even more chocolatey. On the dry down I pick up a strong chocolatey vibe, I pick up a nice sweet tobacco note. The cherry note, the sweet cherry note is pretty strong on the dry down here as well. There's a hint of powderness, maybe something like tonka bean, a bit of greenness, there's a geranium note in here definitely. Some woodsy notes, all around a very interesting, very unisex, very gourmand sweet scent that I really enjoy actually. Perfectly unisex in my opinion, and I really hope that this actually performs, because I think this will be superb for, winter nights. Really like the fragrance in here. Now time to talk quickly about the dry down of Autobiography Supreme Gold, again from Paris Corner. I couldn't resist and I tried this one on skin as well, because as I said, I'm a huge fan of the Hero DNA, so I needed to try this one on skin. And on skin, what's slightly different is that I pick up a slight boozy note out of this fragrance, very slight somewhere in the background, but all around it's pretty similar to the original fragrance. Again, on the dry down still get that very sweet tobacco scent that has a lot of vanillic sweetness, some ambery sweetness, a bit of cinnamon as well, some woodsy notes, a hint of incense, really nicely done. Seems to be slightly sweeter, maybe a little bit more powdery compared to the original fragrance, at least from my initial testing, but the scent here has really nice quality, and I've been really enjoying this one, through that 1 hour that I've been wearing it on my hand. The only thing again that's left to test out is how this will evolve with a bit of maceration and how it performs, but so far it's been really nice. When it comes to the dry down of Feroce from Fragrance World, this one of course being an alternative to Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. It remains a very citrusy fragrance that has a lot of freshness even on the dry down. The citrusy notes, the lemon note is really strong on the dry down. The dry down became a little bit sweeter. The amber note that this one has started to kick in on the dry down, more stronger, let's call it that. And also there's some woodsy notes that have started to creep in. But all around it remains a very fresh, very refreshing citrusy based fragrance. Maybe there's a kind of a soapy feel out of this one on the later dry down. But it's a really interesting, fresh scent that I think should work great in the warmer months, especially in summertime. Very versatile fragrance, very masculine, sort of a citrusy scent. And now let's talk about the dry down of Mirage Absolu from FA Paris. This one being a alternative to Parfum de Marly's Layton exclusive. Again, I tried this one on skin as well, and on skin it smells a little bit darker compared to what it smells on paper. The dry down remains very similar to the original fragrance. You get that slightly darker Layton DNA that you get out of Layton exclusive. Although on the dry down this still remains a little bit more spicy, and I feel like it's a little bit greener compared to the original scent. But nonetheless smells very similar to Layton exclusive. In the air it's probably pretty much identical. Seems to be quite strong as well, probably will have a very decent performance, and all around has a very nice quality, and I think this will turn out to be a good alternative for people who are looking for a Layton exclusive inspired by fragrance. And if I have to quickly sum up, the 3 fragrances that actually turned out to be the most impressive for me out of the 5 that I tried today, those will be When Soul Gets High from Emir and Paris Corner, Autobiography's Supreme Gold, and FA Paris's Mirage Absolu. And so guys, in today's video I unboxed and tried for the first time 3 new scents for my collection from Paris Corner and 2 from Fragrance World. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.